All right. All right. Welcome on in. Give us 1 second to let the podcast listeners join on in. Welcome on in to March Madness tonight as we are here and ready once again for a great night. Or most of the games, are over and got a lot riding on this first day of the first round. And I mean, we've seen a lot today. All right, let's uh, that back. We saw a lot of action today, and there's a lot of unexpected stuff. But what the biggest takeaway that I've seen today really has been the lack of dominance by the top teams. The top teams in this tournament are not as dominant as we expected. These power programs are not dominant. Aside from Baylor, aside from Illinois, who absolutely dominate, Houston as well. Every other team, every other game was fairly close for a good while. I don't know, what was the other 3 seed? Certainly Arkansas Colgate was a close one and a good one to watch. All right, I need to do one more thing here. And then we will get into the full swing of things, go through most of these games. Of course, I'm recording this. Not all the games have been completed. That's not my fault. That's other people's fault. All right. So let's go. Let's get on into it. Let's get into the madness. All right. Let's go Region 3. I'm just playing. That's not the real name. Region, our second region on our. All right. So here it is. This is, I believe, the South region here. Pictured South region. Oh my god. So, I mean, what you see here is certainly a lot of chalk. This region has been completed today. We don't know the schedule for tomorrow's action, or we do know tomorrow's. We don't know Sundays. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So, what stands out to me here from today's action was that North Texas win and that Oral Roberts win, both over Big Ten teams who have been in this bubble for quite some time. And the thing I wanted to say about these Big Ten teams is we're not getting the teams that we expected to win. Purdue, we expected to win. Ohio State, we expected to win. And I would say Michigan State was expected to win last night in the first four. And we didn't. We didn't get those teams in the Big Ten to stand out. It was very unexpected to see really how things played out. And this is the South region for you. All right. Now, I don't know if this one's up to date exactly. I still have to put in a couple of things. Got update this one just a little bit. I already put Rutgers in there. Need to put Syracuse through to the next round. But in this side of the bracket, all right. So I'm going on a tangent here, but what I was saying about the Big Ten is that the three Big Ten teams to lose: Michigan State, last night. Earlier today, it was Ohio State, and then later today, it was Purdue. All three of those games went to overtime, meaning that it was just one free throw, one missed bucket away from a victory for three Big Ten teams. So the Big Ten currently, I believe they are 3-3 on the tournament. The three wins currently: Illinois, easy win over Drexel, just pictured, Rutgers over Clemson, and the other one, Wisconsin over Carolina. Those were fairly certain wins. Okay, so this really has been, this is a crazy tournament. But let's look at these matchups that we're going to get in the second round. What are the matchups that are going to be highlighted on Sunday? And what are the matchups that I don't care about, that I think are going to be stuck away in those tough windows? We're going to rank all these games, starting at the bottom of the barrel, the game that I least want to watch of the games on the slate. I haven't quite figured this one out, but I have a pretty good idea. And I think the last game that I want to watch is probably going to be Villanova taking on North Texas. I know what you're thinking. North Texas a great game today, but I just think Villanova is going to take control. They have a veteran head coach, Jay Wright, who is prepared at as much as anyone could be for this tournament, and his teams should roll. Again, that's the 8th best game that I can find for you on the next game. That's Sunday. The 7th best game I would say is Florida Oral Roberts. Now, the thing that makes this above Villanova North Texas is that these two teams are both coming off of an overtime game. There's interest in the Oral Roberts. They had unbelievable, and this is really a team that if they can get this win, get to the Sweet 16, they're going to be America's sweetheart for the next week. I don't think they're going to make it a game. I think Florida knows that they took Virginia Tech for granted, and they got lucky to win that one, and they should get to the Sweet 16 against Oral Roberts. So I think we're going to switch to the Midwest region for this next one. And that being Oregon State, Oklahoma State. I like Oklahoma State very much in this game. I think Tennessee was heavily overrated prior to this game. I don't really have much to say, but I think Oklahoma State's going to blow this one out of the waters. Now, I do like it is two power programs, but Oregon State, I think their run comes to an end. They're hot right now, but It might end up being the best game, but I don't think so. All right, so that was the sixth best game. The fifth best game I'd say is Rutgers Houston. I think Rutgers is a good team, but Houston's gonna roll. Houston's gonna roll, and the reason I put this up here is because Houston really didn't get a test against Cleveland State, and I think Rutgers is going to play better. And this is a Big Ten team. I don't know. Fourth best, I would say it's Illinois, Loyola. Um, Loyola, Chicago, Illinois. I mean, just the geography is really the only appeal. I think Illinois should win this game big time. Um, shouldn't be too big of a problem for them. And then I would say this third best game, which games do we have left? We have Baylor, Wisconsin, Texas Tech, Arkansas, and we have Syracuse, West Virginia. West Virginia is going to get the win over Morehead State. Put that into our bracket. So I think the third game, third most enjoyable game, I would say, is going to be this Syracuse West Virginia game. No, it's this the second most would be Syracuse West Virginia. Third most Baylor Wisconsin. I think Baylor's going to roll, but I think Wisconsin, with their size, can create problems. So second, I would say, is Syracuse West Virginia. I think Syracuse, unbelievable performance against San Diego State. I like West Virginia will be favored to beat Syracuse, but it should be interesting, to say the least. And then number one, Texas Tech, Arkansas. Two programs that really haven't been historically the best of the best, but I think Arkansas surviving against Colgate. I think it's going to set up a great matchup against Texas Tech. And you know what? We don't have a 4-5 game coming up on Sunday. So the best I could find was a 6-3. We only have one of those. It's the chalk. The chalk was going early in the day. We had Florida win, Arkansas win, Illinois win. And then the chalk just didn't hold up as we headed into the middle of the day. So many upsets. Again, shout out to all of these Cinderella teams. Say Oral Roberts, North Texas, Wisconsin. They're not a Cinderella. Oregon State and Syracuse, I guess. But Syracuse, of course, is a power program. But won a lot of teams, many double-digit seeds advancing today. So that's what is this? 5 double-digit seeds advance, which is a pretty sizable amount. That is of 16 games today. We had 5 double-digit seeds advancing, which is 31% of the games having a double-digit seed advancing. But keep in mind that there can't be a double-digit seed advance in the 8-9. So of the games there possibly could have been one, it's about 36% of the games involving a double-digit seed that had a double-digit seed winning. So heading into tomorrow, we will look at those brackets real quick here before we head off. Which reminds me that I need to do some dirty work to get those brackets up here and running. And we're getting one. All right, so tomorrow we are in the West region and the East region with, of course, the top seed of Gonzaga and the top seed of Michigan in action tomorrow. Should be very interesting, to say the least. All right, let's put this one away. And let's take out the East region. East region tomorrow. This is what it looks like right now. And it'll get messy. We'll have 8 teams advance tomorrow. Game that I'm most looking forward to in this East region, probably going to be that UConn Maryland game, CBS 6 o'clock Central Time, all time Central here on JJ Sports. 6 p.m. Central Time will be UConn and Maryland. I think Maryland can get this done, but I think UConn will be the favorite and will likely win. But it'll be interesting to see Alabama, interesting to see Texas. Both of those teams have struggled in the past. Interesting to see Florida State. I mean, Colorado Georgetown I think could be a good game as well, but I will put my money where my mouth is on UConn Maryland as the game that I'm looking forward to in this one. So I'd say you get all chalk in this one, except I have Maryland winning and I have Georgetown winning. And then not sure about LSU St. Bonaventure. I think that's really a toss-up game there. And I think BYU will beat UCLA. All right, the other region. The good old West region. Here's the West region. I need to update this one. There we go. There's our West region that we paid for. Gonzaga should be easy win. The game in this region that I would say is a good watch. Personally, it's USC Drake. I think Drake Bulldogs will make it interesting against USC. I also think Oregon and VCU will be a good one. Plenty of great games in this region, and plenty of them. None of them on CBS. They're all on TNT or TBS, and also two on True TV, which is kind of interesting. But I can assure you, we'll see Oregon, Iowa probably on Monday on CBS if the chalk holds there. And I mean, USC Kansas, that's a must-see game. But a lot of these first-round matchups don't really pit quality programs head-to-head, except for Oklahoma, Missouri. I mean, that's a good one. And then you got a lot of mid-major teams in these double-digit seeds here that I think you can put some faith in. Drake, certainly one of the better teams coming out of the Missouri Valley. So again, tomorrow's plenty of coverage. Early on in the day, as you see here, just like three games in this regional start before the prime time window. Then as we look at our other region, our Easter region, we got CBS will be featured in quite a few of these, including that UConn Maryland game, BYU UCLA, Georgetown Colorado, and Michigan Texas Southern. So CBS, a lot of these games on CBS, and you should have a great, great day watching college hoops once again tomorrow. But until next time, I'm Jared the Bear. Good night,